So welcome back, everyone. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but Bryan left two runners on, including one in scoring position in Nagelhoot. Tough inning for Jocelyn Thompson, but still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Bluefield College coming up to bat for the first time at home in 2 years against Stephanie Blevins. So for the Rams, it'll be Christina Sanchez leading off, the third baseman. Lauren Bailey, the catcher, batting second. Chloe Hicks, the shortstop, batting third. Jocelyn Thompson, the pitcher, batting cleanup. Kenzie Lambert batting fifth and playing at first base, while Kelsey Topliff, the center fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh and playing at second base, Emma Crawford. The designated player, Megan Gross, batting eighth. And closing out the lineup, Gabby Mellick for Bluefield College. So we got the Digital Sports Network, Bluefield College. College team currently Sanchez on with a single, still scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. And now up, Lauren Bailey for Bluefield College just fouled one off. Rips that one on the ground, snagged there by Sober, on to second in time. And fielder's choice for Bailey allows her to get on. What a 5-4, retiring Sanchez over at second base. And now there's one out. Welcome back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, dealing with a few technical difficulties today, as expected. First day playing softball here in just about almost 2 years. Here comes Chloe Hicks, the shortstop. Pitch. It's a call to strike. And Hicks takes one 0-1. Runner at first for Bluefield, still scoreless. Rams, a couple games over 500, but 2 games behind 500 in the AAC. Pitch from Blevins. Swinging a foul tip, snagged at home by Nagelhoot. And now the count runs 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Wind starting to blow here. Starting to get flashbacks of being on top of that hill. That goes just a bit outside. Bailey took a big jump off at first. And it's called 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sam White, the head coach of Bluefield College in his first year, formerly the assistant coach at a softball powerhouse in Lindsey Wilson. Comes the 1-2, and it's high. So keep it now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rams got into a bit of a jam there in the first inning. Jocelyn Thompson walked 3 batters, but Bluefield College, especially Lauren Bailey, doing a good job throwing out a runner at second that really kept that inning at bay. Big swing and a miss, and Hicks is down on strikes for the second out. Now here comes Jocelyn Thompson for Bluefield. Still scoreless, a little bit of wind blowing out towards right. And Thompson blasted into right field, first pitch. Fielded out there by White. Throw in the infield skips in, and Bailey is on in scoring position. So Thompson goes opposite field with a hit. And, well, Sam White, very impressed with her so far this season. Says she's been putting it in play, and made the comment that a lot of her balls she's put in play have been called as errors, but he says she's making great contact. So that's why you see her under the Mendoza line at right around 170. Here comes Kenzie Lambert for Bluefield. Couple of runners on. Bailey on at second base. The pitch, a little late. Rams getting a piece of what Blevins has been throwing at them. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. Bluefield taking on Bryan a couple times today. Then got baseball tonight at 7 p.m. Here's the pitch. 1-0-1 is fouled back quickly, make it no balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Little wind flowing out towards right field. Bailey on with a fielder's choice. Jocelyn Thompson on at first base. So what can Kenzie Lambert do here? No batting gloves, right side of the plate, the 0-2. Late off it, it's a bit high on the rise ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taking some cuts on deck, Kelsey Topliff. Lambert, the freshman from Tazewell, the pitch. Swinging a ground ball through the hole into right field. Bailey getting the green light around third. She will score, and it's 1-0 Bluefield. So now runners on the corners, call it an RBI for Lambert. Lauren Bailey able to come in to score. 1-0 Bluefield. Thompson on at third. Runners on the corners for the Rams. Rams on the board first here. It's a tough play out and right by White. Kind of kicked it around just a second, and Lauren Bailey made her pay for that. So here's Kelsey Topliff. Rams trying to get a 2-out rally going. It's 1-0 Bluefield. Now the pitch. High and inside for ball one. So runners on the corners for Bluefield. Comes the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Throw to second. Tag. Trying to make the call across the field. Called her safe anyway. Able to dive back in, Lambert. Count goes to 1-1. Thompson at third. Field already up 1-0. Showing bunt, pulls back. Inside trying to saw her off, and it's called a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Bluefield taking the lead, 1-0. Comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, waved at it for strike 3. So the Rams move on to the top of the second, up 1-0 after the hit into right field by Kenzie Lambert. And we'll take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network with a score. Bluefield 1, Bryan 0. Top of the second, Bluefield leads 1-0 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bailey Engel on the call for you. Glad to have you with us. Apologize for the technical difficulties as we work through the kinks of broadcasting off of a hotspot here at Graham Rec Park. Bluefield College up 1-0 after the hit of Kenzie Lambert. Jocelyn Thompson with 3 walks there in the first inning, but Bluefield College still able to keep Bryan off of the board as we go to the top of the second with the 6, 7, 8 due up, and Holt, Galvin, and Brianna Hickey. Big-time doubleheader for Bluefield College, but usually a pretty solid team. So Holt leads it off, first baseman. Freshman from Newport, Tennessee. Holt standing in on the right side. Thompson awaits. A couple of strikers. 1-0 Bluefield. 1. Well, Thompson got started a bit slow. A couple of walks already, 4 walks on the day. Sam White trying to encourage his young pitcher, and so far defending a 1-0 lead at the moment. Balls 1 strike. Here's the offer. Out her swinging, strike 2. Now the count evens up at 2 apiece. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 the score. Righty and lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Fouls it away. Going right behind us into some wickets. And I don't think that anybody's going to be able to get that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keep it at 2-2 here. How's the pitch? Just missed outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. It's 1-0 Bluefield College here in game 1 of the doubleheader against Bryan. Thompson looks. Ready to deal. Payoff pitch coming up. And Nagelhoot calls a timeout. So she was walked and left in scoring position back in the first inning. Here we are in the top of the third. pitch. Sawed her off, fly ball, left field. Taylor stomps up and makes the catch for out number 2. So Anna Taylor able to snag it. Now there's 2 away for Jocelyn Thompson in the circle for Bluefield College. Game 1 of this doubleheader. Sam White, first home game of his Bluefield College coaching career. Got a good amount of fans traveling to see some of the local products for Bluefield here at Graham Rec Park, also home of the Bluefield Little League. Brooke Bellflower, the shortstop, went down looking back in the first inning. She's 0 for 1. Thompson deals. Big swing and a miss. Healthy cut there. By the way, 2 outs on the board, and already the count 0 and 1. Thompson deals. Another great pitch, already up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Count goes to 0 and 2. 2 outs, nobody on for the Lions. Comes the 0-2. Fouled away, popping up into the forest after it rolls. About 200 down the lines here at Graham Rec Park. Thompson doing good so far, keeping it at a shutout right now for this Bryan team that steps into this game 7-7 in the black jerseys. Comes the pitch. Just missed a bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thompson thought she had her at the knees there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The crowd showing up on hand. Looks like a few members of the football team are here. A couple of baseball players before their game tonight. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Impressive at-bat for Bellflower. Ball rolls through, top left out in center field, and on the E8, she advances to second. Bellflower on with a single, and the E8 for Bluefield College. So the tying run now in scoring position for head coach Mark Richard's team. Carly LaRoque. Now the pitch shows bunt, pulls back. She's taken off. No. Puts on the brakes and goes right back to second. Sanchez was storming in to cover on the bunt attempt. Trying to bring a runner in scoring or into the hot corner and sneak an infield bunt on with 2 outs. The 1-0. High. They get 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on at second base. The count going 2-0. Wind blowing to the right. Bluefield up by 1. The pitch fouled away right side and out of play. Let's make it 2-1. Two outs, still a 1-0 lead for Bluefield. Excuse me, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up here. Pitch. Once again, fouled away, so we'll do it again. At 1-2. Not really a great day. A couple of softball games. Warm, but not too warm. And a nice little breeze rolling off with 460 in the background in left field. The old Bluefield College softball field on top of the hill and right. Comes another 1-2. Just missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs and a runner at second. Hit in the air, right field. Melick camps out under it and dropped the ball. And the game is tied. So now runner at first. Got a lost in the sky, and on the E9, LaRoque is on. We are on the top of the 3rd. Bring up Sober. Sober went down swinging to end the top of the first inning. Goes outside, off the glove, and now a runner at second base. So it's 1-0 in the count, and 1-1 the score. Comes a 1-0. That's called a strike in the inner part of the plate. Runs the count at a ball and a strike. One ball, one strike. Runner at second with 2 outs. Thompson deals. Shows bunt, lays it down. First base side. Could be trouble. Toss on to first. Got her. In time for the out. A great job by Lambert to connect with Crawford on a 3-4. And for Sober, she is left on base. But a run scores on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 runner on base. We go to the bottom of the third, where Bluefield tries to break this tie when we come back. On to the bottom of the third inning. Sanchez ready to lead it off for Bluefield, now in a tied game at 1-1. Rams at the top of the lineup now. Sanchez singled to start off the ball game. 1-1 the score. Blevins still in the circle for Bryan College, making the trip from Dayton, Tennessee. First pitch to the third baseman, just a bit inside for ball 1. So the count at 1-0, Bluefield College, a couple games over 500, and Sam White very confident with this team. And you got to think that going along with COVID and the start of the softball season being in the dead of winter, comes a 1-0. Fouled it off right side, reaching on that one to even it up at 1-1. That it just feels good to finally be home after spending the almost first 2 months of the season on the road. So here we are, first home game of the year for Bluefield College, and it's on St. Patrick's Day. A little bit of wind flowing out towards right field, the 1-1. Just a bit outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Sanchez getting the leadoff nod for Bluefield College today. Here comes the pitch. Hit in the air to deep left field. Galvin back, camps out under it, and makes the catch for out number 1. So a little bit more of that Graham Rec Park wind. Maybe he would have pushed that one out of here. And Sanchez is retired, still looking for her first home run this year. And that'll bring up Lauren Bailey. Bailey hitting .258 on the year coming into this game. No home runs and 5 RBIs. Plays some second, playing as the catcher here in game 1. Takes a swing and a miss at that one, and the count goes to 0-1. Nobody on for Bluefield. Only run scored was Lauren Bailey when she reached on a fielder's choice and then was batted in by Kenzie Lambert. Fouls that one away and quickly goes down 0-2 in this tie game. So Blevins trying to get into a bit of a rhythm here, but Bluefield putting the ball in play. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Time called. Blevins, affectionately known as Peanut by her teammates, digs right back in on the right side. That was the 0-2. Hit in the air on a high pitch. Sky's out of here. And that's just going to roll down the hill. Score at 1-1. Run scoring off of a couple of errors for Bluefield College, so it will not be an earned run off of the arm of Thompson. That one is grounded onto the left side, snared by Bellflower. Long throw across, off target, and Bailey is on at first base. So count that as a hit, I believe, even though Bellflower's throw was off to the left. It looked like Bailey hit it deep enough in the shortstop gap that she was able to leg that one out, even if it was on target. So now a runner at first with no outs, or make it 1 out, actually. Chloe Hicks struck out swinging back in the first inning. First pitch. Hicks fouls it back over the backstop and out of play. When not really helping the batters here today for Bluefield College, wouldn't really want to call it a pitcher's nightmare at this point. 1-1 the score. Comes the pitch, and it's high. Count goes to 1-1. Runner at first and Bailey after the infield hit. And that one's fouled right back to us. Make it at 1-2. Comes a 1-2. Slung over to third, sober back to first, not in time. So an L5. Bailey able to dive back. Even that one was hummed down the third baseline. Now it's going to bring up Jocelyn Thompson, freshman from Bluefield, Virginia. That's certainly why there's some good attendance even to these Bluefield College softball games that happen in the middle of the day, middle of the work week. Big cut and a miss for strike 1. Thompson singled, got all the way to third back in the first inning. She's 1 for 1 today. As I was saying, as that one is fouled back to make it 0-2. Good amount of local products on this team. Kenzie Lambert on decks from Tazewell. Jocelyn Thompson from Graham High School. Emma Crawford later on in the lineup from Richlands. Here's the 0-2. Late off it, it's a bit high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lauren Bailey on at first with a single. In the bottom of the 3rd inning. Game 1 of this doubleheader. Comes the pitch. Got her looking. Strike 3, and that is it for the 3rd inning. Rams score none on 1 hit, no errors, and leave Bailey on base. We will go to the top of the 4th inning here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, where it's 1-1. Top of the fourth here in Bluefield. Rams and Bryan College locked in at 1-1 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. And with Thompson still inside of the circle for BC, she'll go up against Holt Galvin and Brianna Hickey, all for Bryan College. Lions were able to score a run off of the fly ball in right field, dropped by Mellick. LaRock will not get the RBI, but Bellflower came in to score after she came in after being at second base after a single ham-fisted out in center field by Toplift. So Rams penalized by a couple of errors there in that inning. And now here we are into the fourth inning with Ariel Holt. Holt got on with a walk back in the second inning. Rams still, you can tell the spirit is there for Bluefield College. Lots of enthusiasm. Brand new head coach, Sam White. Gotten a ton of coaches and people here with the last name White. Mike White, Sam White, and then there's another Mike White at Bluefield College. Thompson deals. That one fouled off going into the dugout, and it's strike one. So the count goes to 0-1. Also, interestingly enough, there's a couple of Baileys here, including myself. Lauren Bailey, that's her last name, and then Bailey Allen, new assistant in her first year at Bluefield. That one drops inside, and it goes to 1-1. So a ball and a strike. One ball, one strike. A little bit of wind flowing out towards right field. Here's the offer. Fouled back. And 1-2. So Thompson getting into a bit of rhythm right now for Bluefield College. Ball and two strikes. The Lions dugout. Head coach Mark Richart over at third base. Really getting into it. The pitch. Hit in the air, popped up, left side. Sanchez calls for it. Down the line, makes the easy catch for out number one. The wind here that's consistently blowing out towards right field. You got to hold your breath every time the ball just gets popped up in the air like that because the Rams have had trouble consistently getting those fly balls. So here's Galvin. Grounded out to third her last time up. Big swing and a miss on a great pitch inside by Thompson. Trying to choke her up there. No balls and one strike, one out, nobody on. Thompson in that rhythm. The pitch sails outside and a ball and a strike. So we'll have game two after this. Who gets the starting nod for Bluefield College, game two. And then after that, 7 o'clock, we got baseball, Bowen Field. So great day to be a Ram fan. That one's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the top of the fourth inning with 1 out. Boy, it was such a while ago. Last time we were able to call softball, Drew Bailey was the head coach. Now he's the head coach of Bluefield State Baseball. Comes the 2-1, hit in the air, shallow center. Wind pushing it out, and Toplift glides back to make the catch. So they're now 2 away. You just see the intricate differences between softball and baseball. Ball seems to just jump off so much quicker in this sport. Obviously, only 46 feet away on the rubber to home plate in this one. 60 feet bases. Double plays are a little bit harder to turn for softball players. Brianna Hickey, and that's just because of, obviously, how close the bags are. The athletes are still here in softball. Hicks and Crawford trying to do so earlier on. Won't have to do that here. Worry about a double play with 2 outs and nobody on. Hickey in the count 1-0. She's 0 for 1 today. That's inside as well. 2 balls, no strikes. Thompson taking her time to walk it off behind the rubber. (2-0). On the ground, right back to Thompson. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Lions here in the top of the fourth inning. And the score remains 1-0 Bluefield, or excuse me, 1-1 the score here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. On to the bottom of the fourth inning, Rams trying to break up this 1-1 tie. Kenzie Lambert, Kelsey Topliff, and Emma Crawford all due up for Bluefield College. Bailey Engel on the call for you. Glad to have you along for the ride for game one of this doubleheader between Bluefield College and Bryan College. Sorry about the technical difficulties we had earlier, but hopefully we're here to stay here at Graham Rec Park. And the field, if you got to give this Bluefield College team as well as Sam White and the folks here at Graham Rec Park some credit here, the field looks pretty good as far as the dirt goes. Great shape. Hopefully we're able to get in some softball on Friday, but there's some rain in the forecast. Lambert with a lone RBI for Bluefield College. Singled home a run back in the first inning, brought in Lauren Bailey. Have to see the scorekeeper after the game to see if they actually count that as an RBI for Lambert, because the ball was mishandled out in right field by White. Pitch inside, got her on the hands, and that one fouls back. The ball went straight up in the air, and Nagelhoot wasn't able to find it. Count goes to 0-1 on Lambert from Tazewell, Virginia. In on the hands again, down the line, and snagged at third by Sober. So Lambert falls to 1 for 2. Got her choked up inner part of the bat, and Sober made a great play out there at third base. Topliff struck out swinging back in the first inning. Watches that one just miss low and away for ball one. Topliff coming from Florida. Here's the 1-0. Once again, misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Freshman transfer from Sterling College. And that's a great part about with last year. Player can move from a JUCO. That one is on the ground. Shot on a hop by LaRock. And now the throw to first is in time. But you have a player get some a little bit of experience and not have to waste a whole year of eligibility and can transfer and play a full 4 years at Bluefield. I'll bring up Emma Crawford for Bluefield. Crawford, freshman from Richlands, Virginia. It's funny on the roster here, she gets to start as the second baseman today. But first baseman, second base, third base, catcher. Do it all for Bluefield. First pitch to her. She swings and misses at some junk in the dirt for strike number 1. Crawford hitting .222 into this ball game. Here comes the 0-1. It's a bit high to even up at 1-1. No homers, a couple of RBIs for the freshman from Richlands. I think that's the funniest part about living in Tazewell County or working in Tazewell County, Virginia, is just the pronunciations. There's a 1-2. Just a bit outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Because anybody else would say Richlands, but it's Richlands. Make sure you get that right if you ever come here, folks. Also, Tazewell is how at least the Siri or whoever speaks on Google will announce it. No, it is Tazewell. On the ground, straight over to short. Good hop for Bellflower. Throw to first in time, and the Rams retired in order. So we head to the 5th inning, all tied up 1-1 between Bluefield and Bryan here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Ready for the fifth inning. Shannon White ready to lead it off. Right fielder went 0 for 1 after grounding out to third to end the top of the second inning. Bailey Engel on the call for you. Glad to have you along for the ride here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Sorry, it's been a bit of a bumpy ride to start out our softball coverage of 2021 with the Wi-Fi, but folks, we're doing the best we can as the righty-lefty matchup starts here with Shannon White. Thompson doing a pretty good job for Bluefield, keeping this at a 1-1 game. Here's the pitch. Trying to slap it, and it sails over the dugout on the left side for strike one. So White going down to 0-1. And another game after this. Just the speed of softball, particularly when it's a good pitching matchup, it really is impeccable. Now that I say that, this is going to be an inning that lasts 78 minutes. The pitch moves a bit outside. I think I made a comment on the speed of a game one time. It was back in 2016. As Thompson looks in. Fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think I said a game was moving quickly when I was working for the Bluefield Blue Jays, who were the rookie affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays at the time. We were in Greenville. And after I said something about the speed of the game, I was there for 4.5 more hours. In a game that went into 2 a.m. It's 20 innings. There's a 1-2. Popped up behind home plate, and that's going to hit into the Briars to keep it at 1-2. It was so long that the fast food restaurants weren't even open after, so I ate peanut M&Ms for dinner. Pretty good. Probably the most substantial M&M to eat for dinner. Comes a 1-2. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almost a decent frame job there for Lauren Bailey. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the pitch. Just a bit outside, full count. Shannon White doing a good job of being pretty picky with the pitches here. Count runs full. Payoff. Outside, ball 4, and another walk. So White, after going down in the count to begin, able to adjust now to a walk to begin us here in the 5th inning. Now ready to the back of the top of the lineup for Tesla Hewling. Struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning. One of 3 strikeouts for Thompson. There's a bunt attempt. Goes down on the ground, kicked out, and that is a fair ball. Meanwhile, fielded and ready to throw it over to third, but eating it, Kenzie Lambert. So a bunt single. Spectacular effort by Sanchez. Just couldn't get there in time, and Hewling is on at first with a single. So now the go-ahead run is at second base. Nagelhoot shows bunt, pulls back, and it is called a strike anyway. So the count goes to 0-1. I think that's got to be one of the scariest things in softball. Now, she was showing bunt, but if she fakes bunt and the corner infielders in Lambert and Sanchez charge in, and she cocks back and gets ready to swing, and they're only about 15 or so feet away from where that ball is getting cranked off the bat. No face mask from Sanchez and Lambert here today. Showing bunt again. 0-1, bunt laid down. Sanchez there, throw to third, off the glove of Hicks, and rolling behind her. Good job backing it up, Taylor. And now the bases are loaded. Well, a decent throw there, and she's out. Nagelhoot's on with a fielder's choice. Bases loaded, no outs. So the bases loaded, no outs. Here comes Brooke Bellflower. 1-1 the score. Near the top of the 5th inning. Biggest jam of the ball game that Thompson has gotten into. First pitch. And it crosses the knees. No, just a bit low. It's ball 1. Lions dugout all fired up. Bellflower struck out last time up back in the first inning and reached on a single her last time. So she's 1 for 2. Also scored a run. There's the strike. So the count goes to 1-1. No outs, bases loaded. Comes the pitch. There's a strike. Make it 1-2. Great pitch from Thompson. So there's a big pitch coming up here. If they're able to retire her and leave the bases loaded, Bluefield College with a chance to get the double play to back out of the top of the 5th inning. 1-2. In the air, right side. Mellick travels, and the ball goes off of the fence. So Crawford, as well as Lambert, all there to try to get that ball, and it just exited the ballpark. So keep it at a ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Now the offer, cranked foul. And that one's going back into West Virginia, but foul nonetheless. Keep it at a ball and 2 strikes with the bases juiced full of Lions. Righty, big open stance at the plate for Bellflower, and the pitch. Into the air to right field, Topliff going back at the track, and that one is gone. Grand slam, and it's 5-1 Bryan. Oh, you could almost just tell there that the way she fouled that one away and just drilled it, that it was going to be a monstrous hit if she got a ball over the plate. And Bellflower turns on a grand slam. So now it's 5-1. Sam White standing in the dugout. Bailey Allen talking it over in the circle right now. 5-1. Home run to break it open. 5 unanswered runs at the moment for Bryan here in the top of the 5th inning. Fouled away. Goes to 0-1. Carly LaRoque reached on an E9 her last time up, 0 for 1. Also walked in the first inning. Thompson still in the circle for Bluefield College. Rams don't have any other arms warming up at the moment. That one is stroked down the line and foul. Count goes to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Rams still searching for the first out of the inning. Started off with a walk, then a single, and a fielder's choice where everyone was safe, and then a grand slam. Fouled away again, right side and out of play. "5-1 the score off of the grand slam from Bellflower. Here's the pitch. Fouled away just a bit late, and that goes into the swamp as well. I think that half of the time is spent here at Graham Rec Park just retrieving foul balls. And now, both fields that we have played at here at this park have not been ideal to get foul balls. Comes another 0-2. So it's a high pitch, flares it out to shallow right. Mellick steps up and makes the catch for out number 1. Big first out for Bluefield. Bryan's getting a little bit of pop and a little bit more confidence at the plate here in the top of the 5th inning. Sober's 0 for 2, grounded out to first her last time up. First pitch, and on the ground, sharply at short. Good snare there by Hicks, and a throw to first in time. So one pitch and the second out for Sober. And Ariel Holt will come up to the plate with 2 outs here and nobody aboard. First pitch, and Holt looks at it, called a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Count rises, no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Inning started off, first 4 batters able to get home after Brooke Bellflower's grand slam. 0-1. Fouled it back, no balls, 2 strikes. Comes the 0-2. Popped up, foul. Sanchez looks at it, and the ball flies over out of play. So we'll do it again in no balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Outside and low. Another pitch. Lays off it for ball 1. Make it ball 2, actually. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holt trying to get on for the first time today. Popped it up to third her last time. Actually, get on with a hit for the first time today. She was walked in the 2nd inning. 5-1 the score. Another pitch. Flared out to shallow center. That's going to drop for a base hit. So hold on with a 2-out single. And here comes the 7th batter of the, make it the 8th batter of the inning in Galvin, who is 0 for 2. First pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. Comes the 0-1 to Galvin. Punches high and outside. Ball and a strike. So 1-1 the count. 5-1 the score. 4 runs coming across for Bryan off of the home run from Brooke Bellflower. Grand slam. Thompson's just trying to battle through the inning. 1-1. Chopper on the ground. Hicks plays it back. Throw across in time. So, 4 runs able to score on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-1 Bluefield, or excuse me, 5-1 Bryan here on the Rams Digital Sports. Bottom of the 5th, Bluefield trying to come back now down 4. It's 5-1 Bryan. Lions putting up 4 runs there off of the grand slam from Brooke Bellflower. And Blevins in the rubber now to try to defend this 4-run lead. Bailey Engel on the call. We're glad to have you along here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. First home game for Bluefield softball in 2 years. And all the way since 2019. I think we were scheduled for a softball game right before, make it a day before everything shut down over at Bluefield High School. So we never even got to broadcast a game at their new home field. Now we're back here at Graham Rec Park. And Megan Gross will lead it off. Sophomore from Bluefield, Virginia. Recruit for Drew Bailey. Gross, a designated player, ready to lead things off here. First pitch from Blevins. Called a strike in the outer part of the plate for strike one. So Bryan trying to get over 500 in the AAC. Right now 4-4. Comes the 0-1. And sails high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 5th inning. Rams scored a run back in the 1st inning off of the grounder from Lambert into right field. It's 1-1 to Gross. Watches outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. She is 0 for 1 today. Well, Blevins, despite that hiccup there in the 1st inning, really has anchored down for Bryan College. Has only given up 1 base runner since then in the 3rd. Line left side and foul. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Comes a 2-2. On the ground sharply at third. Backhanded stab. Sober throw. Got her. Good job by Sober. Another great play over at third base. And Gabby Malik stands in. So Gabby Malik, 0 for 1. Batting left-handed. One from Newport News. That's high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Palmetto wind flowing out towards right field. Rams already down by 4 with nobody on. Here comes a 1-0. Shows bunt, trying to slap it, and it rolls behind the catcher, Nagelhoot. Count goes to 1-1 after the foul ball. It was a 1-1. Slices the ball out to left center field, and Malik is on with a base knock with 1 out. Right over the glove of Bellflower. Perfect in no man's land for Gabby Malik, and now Bluefield College can turn that lineup card on over for Christina Sanchez. 1 for 2 on the day. Single to begin the bottom of the 1st inning and flew out to left also to begin that inning in the 3rd. Sanchez. Runner at first. The table's set. Here's the pitch. High and inside on Sanchez. 1 ball, no strikes. Christina Sanchez from San Antonio, Texas, Trinity Valley Community College. Comes a 1-0. Into the air to center. Hewling right there, makes the catch, 2 outs. So Blevins only given up 5 hits in the ball game. 3 of them were all in the 1st inning. And Lauren Bailey is one of them. Comes Bailey. 1 for 2 today with a run score. The pitch was well inside, had her jammed, fouled it off of her foot. Count goes to 0-1. Comes the 0-1. Check swing. She went around. No balls, 2 strikes. So the count at 0-2 with 2 outs. Melick on at first after the single. Rams down by 4. Need a couple of hits to string together here. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back, and Bailey stays alive. Down at 0-2. Bailey got a couple of good pitches to swing at. Now has to defend the plate here. Comes another 0-2. Swing and a miss. Went outside, and she reads. So Blevins retires the side with that one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and Melick left at first. We're on to the 6th inning here in Bluefield, where the Rams trail 5-1 against Bryan. Yes. All right, here we are. 6th inning. 8-9-1 duel. Brianna Hickey, 0 for 2. Shannon White, 0 for 1. And then Tesla Hewling does have a hit in this ball game, 1 for 2 on the day. Thompson still inside of the circle for Bluefield. Hickey, White, and Hewling all due up. Well, it's 5-1, Bryan, after the grand slam from Brooke Bellflower. Brought home 4 in the top of the 5th inning. So here we are in the top of the 6th, the penultimate inning of this ball game. Hickey, the designated player. Due up on the right side, wearing number 42. Rams and Lions playing another 7 after this one. First pitch is cranked to center. Top lift to the right, 1 away. A bit interesting. Bryan College a little bit more vocal than Bluefield. When we see differences in where coaches stand on that. Softball dugouts can get pretty musical at times. Bluefield has been pretty quiet ever since only scoring 1 run. So new player in for Bryan. Destiny McSwain going to be the pinch hitter for Bryan. McSwain looks at that one, called a strike right down the middle with 1 out here, 0-1. Bluefield native in the circle for Bluefield College. Ram pitchers feels that one, it's fouled away. The count runs to 0-2, so McSwain already in a hole here. 5-1 the score. Bluefield College now trying to come back with a chance to win this one to sweep the doubleheader. Chopped on the ground, high snare, Sanchez. Quick throw to first, good catch by Lambert. Now there are 2 outs. And I think that playing third base is obviously very hard in baseball, but I'd argue it's even harder in softball because you are just about 45 feet away from the plate, and that was such a high chop, and it wasn't like Sanchez misplayed it. Actually had to jump to get it. It was such a tough play and was able to make it look routine there. It's back to the top of the lineup with Hewling. One of those runs brought home on the homer by Bellflower. Takes a cut and a miss at that one for strike 1. So on the top of the 6th, there is nobody on for the Lions. 5-1 the score. And Hewling trying to slap this one pretty much almost out of the batter's box. That just misses outside. Ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind sailing out towards right. The pitch spins away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Trying to have a 3-up, 3-down inning for the first time since the 4th. Actually, since 8 came to the plate against Thompson last time. Pitch. Flared out towards left field. Two balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2. The offer just missed. Ball 3. Little outside and low. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. Thompson's been a trooper in the circle today for Bluefield. Leadoff batter at the plate. Here comes the payoff. Swinging a fly ball into center, and Topliff is there. 3 up, 3 down go the Lions. Rams coming to bat when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network on to the bottom of the 6th in Bluefield. Welcome back, everybody. On to the bottom of the 6th inning. There is nobody on for Bluefield because it hasn't started yet, obviously. So it's a 4-run lead for Bryan College off of that grand slam that broke up the tie in the visiting half of the 5th inning. Bluefield College has failed to plate a run since the 1st inning. Blevins doing a pretty good job in the circle for Bryan, trying to get them over 500 in the AAC, but not if the 3-4-5 of the Bluefield lineup has something to say about it. And Chloe Hicks, Jocelyn Thompson, and Kenzie Lambert. Lambert with a lone RBI today for Bluefield, knocking in Lauren Bailey back in the 1st inning. And like we said earlier, only 5 hits surrendered by Blevins in this ball game, 3 of them in the 1st inning. Hicks 0 for 2. Watches that one from the righty spin outside, ball 1. Hicks struck out swinging in the 1st. Line 1 straight at sober at 3rd, her last time up. And it was back in the 3rd inning. Hicks, the shortstop, has played a really confident short today. As she hits that one in the air, shallow left, stepping in Galvin, and makes the grab for out number 1. Unfortunately for Bluefield, falls to 0 for 3 today, and here comes Thompson. Had a single and was left at 3rd back in the 1st inning. Known as JT by Coach Sam White and the teammates. First pitch. Watched outside for ball 1. Comes a 1-0. Hit on the ground, straight at short, charging in Bellflower. Boy, she has played a great game. 2 outs. As the game-winning grand slam as it stands right now, Bluefield College going to need to score 4 runs in the next 4 outs. But I'll tell you what, with Jocelyn Thompson, aside from giving up a couple of early walks and that grand slam, has really pitched a pretty good game for Bluefield College. But Blevins, Stephanie Blevins, has just done a great job of keeping the Rams at bay since the 1st inning as well. So here's Kenzie Lambert. That one goes outside for ball 1, count 1-0. Remember, this is game 1 of a doubleheader. We got game 2, I'd like to say just about a half an hour after this. Pitch to Lambert. She swings and belts that one into left field for a base knock with 2 outs. So Lambert has the only multi-hit day of any Bluefield College Ram. And see if Kelsey Topliff can knock her in. It's 5-1 with 2 outs. First pitch. That's right down the middle for strike 1. Topliff ready, the pitch, and it's high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at first. Game 1 of the doubleheader where Bluefield trails 5-1. Overcast skies starting to build here in Bluefield, Virginia. A couple of exits down from the Bluefield College campus. Sails outside. Two balls, 1 strike. 2-1, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the count evening up at 2-2. Topliff in a really big situation here to try to bring in Lambert, who's at first base. Swing and a miss, got her. Final out of the 6th inning. We are on to the 7th. Bluefield College, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Runner left on. It's 5-1 Bryan as we now go to the 7th and final inning. Here we are to the 7th inning. Thompson trying to pitch the complete game for Bluefield. Delta 1-2-3. Top of the 6th. Here we are in the top of the 7th. It's 5-1 Bryan in game 1 of this doubleheader. It'll be Nagelhout, Bellflower hit the grand slam, and LaRoque all up for this Bryan College team from Dayton, Tennessee. Got this one started right on time as opposed to yesterday, a team from Bryan for women's volleyball. The bus actually had broken down, and we got that volleyball game started 2 hours after we were supposed to. But as of right now, running on schedule here in this doubleheader. We're going to have game 2 coming up right after this if the Rams aren't able to come back here in the bottom of the 7th. Nagelhout 0 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. And unfortunately has sort of bugged Jocelyn Thompson's start today with the walks, especially in the first inning. Nagelhout was one of them. There were 3 walks in that first inning, but interestingly enough, the field played pretty well behind her. 1 ball and no strikes. Because a run scored in the 3rd and then 4 in the 5th. Now the pitch. On the ground, Sanchez there again. Snags, throws in time. I'm really impressed with how Sanchez has played over at third base today. Brooke Bellflower. Bellflower hit that ball right before the home run. She had a foul ball that went probably about 250 feet. One sails inside, called a strike. And then the next pitch, maybe 2 pitches later, belted the ball out towards the flagpole in center field. Ball goes to 0-1 as she fouls that one back on a hefty cut. The shortstop goes to 0 for 2. 0-2, I should say. Two for 3 on the day. 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs. The 0-2. Got her. That's a big strikeout for Jocelyn Thompson. And now there are 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Rams trying to send it to the 8-9-1 for the comeback, down 4 here in game 1 of the doubleheader. Carly LaRocque 0 for 2 with a walk. Reached on an error. Also flew out to right field. That one's just a bit inside for ball 1. And that run that scored back in the 3rd inning should have been, it is unearned after a couple of errors. So 4 runs attributed to the starter. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Count at 2-0 with nobody on. Second baseman awaits. Here's the pitch from Thompson. All just a bit inside, breaking in towards the plate. 2-1 on the strike call. So Rams will take that. Here for the 2-1. In on the hands, into shallow center. Toplift can't make the catch. Drops right in front of her on a dive. So it will be called a single for LaRocque. Reaching for the first time today on a hit. Here comes Sober, who's 0 for 3. Put the ball in play a couple of times. Also struck out once to end the first inning. Bryan Sober. A new runner coming in.
Number 5 for number 33.
5 for 33 coming in for Bryan. So that means we will see Vanessa Hart on the base paths for Bryan. Sober due for a hit, 0 for 3. Thompson trying to just keep that at 0 for 4. That one's on the ground. Great play by Lambert and tags the bag. So that will keep it scoreless in the 7th. It is 5-1 though. Final chance for Bluefield to come back when we come back. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Rams trail 5-1. Bottom of the 7th, final chance for Bluefield. Emma Crawford coming up for the Rams. 5-1, Bryan leads. Inside of the circle, Stephanie Blevins trying to get a complete game win here. Gave up 3 hits in that first inning, including another ball hit into play by Lauren Bailey. But she's only given up 3 hits in total since that first inning. Now the Rams trying to come back 4 down. The grand slam, the big factor in this one. Emma Crawford 0 for 2. First pitch to the Richlands native is a bit low for ball 1. Game one of this doubleheader, Bluefield College and Bryan College. Comes the 1-0. Just a bit outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Count runs 2-0. Grounded out to shorter last time up. Here's the pitch. Just a bit inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Decent eye from Crawford. Rams need to score 4 to tie, 5 to walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 5-1. Crawford shows bunt on 3-0. Pulls back. It's inside for ball 4. Blevins waited until the 7th inning for her first walk of the ball game. Impeccable performance for Stephanie Blevins. Here's Megan Gross. Grounded out to third her last time up. She's 0 for 2. First pitch shows bunt, misses. It's now 0-2, or excuse me, 0-1. Crawford staying over at first base. Rams really trying to put a couple of runners on the base paths here and test Holt and Sober, the corner infielders. It's a swing away call there and just waves at it. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Blevins fires. Just a bit outside. Good eye from Gross. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Comes a 1-2. Into the air, down the right field line. White steps back, makes the catch, and there is the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Gabby Mellick had a single in the 5th inning, was left aboard. This one out. Bryan College with that middle of the infield trying to turn a double play to end the game. Mellick watches that one go outside, but called a strike, 0-1. Now runs, no balls, 1 strike. Comes the 0-1. Tries to show a bunt, and it's called a strike. Didn't pull back, trying to slap it there. So now down to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes for Mellick. Pitch. Slapped on the ground, third base side. So it's foul. No balls, 2 strikes. It's been impressive that Bluefield has worked some pretty long at-bats today, and Blevins has stayed pretty strong even with the higher pitch count. Comes another 0-2, and it's high. Throw to first, sails away. Up is Crawford, and remember in softball, it's not like there's a gigantic differential between first base and the fencing. So that ball, even though it sailed to the right, got a little bit of hop from the fencing, and Crawford just got up. Couldn't advance. So now there's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Fouled away. So Mellick stays and battles here. Keep it at a ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Mellick a little choked up on the bat. Here comes a 1-2. Watches it outside. Good eye by Mellick. Just missing there. Two balls and 2 strikes. 5-1 the score. 2-1, hit up the middle, and it rolls through. Make it a 2-2 pitch. Either way, Mellick on with her second single in the ball game. And now there are 2 runners aboard for Bluefield College. Talk about a plate battle for Gabby Mellick. Really showing her maturity at the plate. Well, a bloop and a blast ties the game. 5-1 the score. Rams have not scored since the first inning. There's just one out here. Crawford on at second, Mellick at first. Blevins rocks and offers. Just a bit high, call to strike though. Crossing the letters, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Count at 0-1. Here's the pitch. Just checks at it, lays off. It's outside and low on the righty. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanchez 1 for 3, singled back in the first inning. Since then, flown out to the outfield a couple of times, including left and center. There's the 1-1. Sawed her off middle of the infield, and they call infield fly rule there. Call on the left side, and Sober makes the catch, so now there are 2 outs. That was a big spot right there. Bluefield needed that. Now time called. Bryan, I'm going to talk this one over. Lauren Bailey up to the plate. Bluefield down by 4. Bryan an out away. And Sober goes into the dugout. Third baseman. What do they do here? Well, Sober just wanted some water, apparently. So, Bloop and a Blast would still tie the game. 5-1 the score. 2 runners aboard. Here's Lauren Bailey for Bluefield College. First pitch to the catcher. Fouls it off the end of the bat. Strike 1. Bluefield trying to spark what could be a great comeback here. Comes the 0-1. Bailey sends it in the air to a shallow right field, charging in, and the catch is made in right, and that is the ball game. So Bryan takes game 1 of this doubleheader 5-1. We're going to be back in just about half an hour here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. But for Rodrigo Hirachi and myself, Bailey Engel on the call for you. We're going to see you in about half an hour, but the final score of this one, the Lions win it 5-1.